By the way, I believe this bag is not by our competitors. There are no bomb here. So, okay. Thank you for clicker. I just check if clicker works. Okay, okay, no problem. I just check. Yeah. So, you know, there are some crazy men. Like, technically, I was in Tunisia maybe 4 years ago. Meet Zaid. We all create a video about Tunisian market, shared hosting in Tunisia 4 years ago. You can type in Google. And the idea, I technically visited 23 countries. Today I was talking with local guys and they said that I visited in Tunisia more cities than they. And technically I came from every country. Wow. I came through every country and tried to visit everything. Let's say in Tanzania I visited 20 national parks, let's say. Nobody in Tanzania visited 20 national parks. In Africa I visited maybe 100 national parks. I visited more than 100 hosting companies in their local offices. I visited dozens of telecoms. Let's say, like in Maldives, I visited like several telecoms. In Mauritius, I visited several telecoms. You know, in Madagascar, I found like some shared hosting companies and tried to sell them something, you know. So no, I have crazy guys like this. So I really like see this continent a little bit different than you guys. But let's start with numbers. So just some public numbers. That internet users in Africa, if you see here, there are like 500 million. The idea is that this is compatible to US market. This is compatible to Europe market. So the idea is just internet users quantity in Africa is compatible to Europe or to China. It's not like 1 to 10, it's like 1 to 2. So it's really big. And the trend, if you see, Africa, like in 15 years, increased 4 times. So, and as you see, Africa can still double easily in next 10 years. You see, US and Europe unable to double. So, Africa is increasing and has very potential trend here. So, if you see population, is also very nice. You see, Africa, like in 25, 30 years, it just doubles the population. Can you imagine, like, double? So, and if you see Africa now, sub-Saharan Africa, 15% of world population. And like, you see here, the trend is like, it's growing. So Africa will take better part of the world, or like bigger part of the world, tomorrow than is today. So more users, so it's like more users and more internet users. So Africa can like show positive trends, like doubling the number of users, like every 5 years. So like, and it's incredible. If you just would like to compare, just it's Europe. If you see Europe, like in last 25 years, Europe, nothing changes. Compare just Africa and Europe. I just, from Lithuania, so compare with Lithuania. So technically we have the same population like 100 years ago. Africa doubled in 25 years. In the next 25 years, Africa will double again. So what's happening is Europe is in many countries like this. So it's like huge potential. Internet penetration grows, number of population also grows. Also, we create metrics like domainity. Domainity is like how many domains are in 1,000 people. For example, if you take 1,000 people on the street in Amsterdam, and 400 of them will have domains. If you take guys in Germany, 1,000 people on the street, 300 of them will have domains. But if you catch somebody in Zambia, 1,000 people, only 2 will have domains. Let's say in Niger, less than 1 person from 1,000 will have domains. So it means like Niger compared to Netherlands like 400 times. So it means like Niger, if he would like to be like Amsterdam, he can grow 400 times. So it's like, of course, we were able to compare like countries where like people possibly do not have credit cards, but they just see how huge is potential. and like the positive trends. So now I just see 5 really big opportunities where Africa do not use their power. I just say that because if Africa do nothing, so greedy and fast comes, like US and Europe will come. So if Africa do nothing, just US and Europe will eat this market. And my goal is just you need to do like some communities, like event like this, and collect here much more people, and focus on these 5 goals. I will describe about everybody, about every of them. So firstly, main problem of whole Africa. It's not exactly about the country. I just show examples just to show how it is. So about registries. So registry, paper-based registries. For example, if I would like to register domain name in Namibia, I need to fill paper, physically go to the registry, pay for 2 years, and then I get domain. In Zambia, for example, I visited 5, let's say, main shared hosting companies, and saw that they don't have, let's say, API. I collect feedbacks and they go directly to the registry and said, what the hell? Why your registrars unable to just through online, through API, get the domain? And I really was like, in many registries, in many African registries, like really, because they have nothing to lose, I not depend on that market, I can get to them, you know, they feel guilty, you know. Registries feel guilty because I came I came to Zambia, I talk to registrars. Why are you doing like that? Oh, sorry, we will change. I said, I will write you an email. And I talked to the CEO of the registry, you know. And they, okay, they reply. I said, okay, record the video. I said, if you do not do the API, I will like go public one more time. I don't know why they're afraid of me, but you know, they're afraid of Russian crazy guys. But the idea just, no API. For example, Comoros, let's say KM, yeah? So big potential for the domain name, .km, yes? Or for example, Ethiopia. You're unable to buy Ethiopian domain online, usually, because there's no API for that. I talked to one guy, he said, I'm the first registrar. I can sell online to you, for example. He's registrar, he can sell domain name for me, but I'm unable to buy it from registry directly. Because there are lots of tricks, lots of something, and lots of domain names in Africa just I don't know, hidden from public, just because of stupid rules. And by the way, many registries in Africa are in private hands. What the hell? In Germany, in Germany, registry is not in private hands. I don't know, in every country in Europe, in every educated country in Europe, registry is not in private hands. Of course, there are some exception, like Belarus, like very like with tricky situations, but that is not maybe not so nice as could be. But mostly in Europe, registries are government management, managed by governments or half government organizations. In Africa, so many registries are in private hands. And for example, prices are insane. Can you imagine in Namibia, if I would like to buy a domain name, it's cost just $100. And you need to pay for 2 years, $200. Can you imagine a guy in Namibia who just pay for domain name $200 and fill paper application? Okay. In Malawi, I was talking with a guy, like $45. He said, I can decrease like to 40, then to 35. I really unable to push him, but said, if you make $10, people do not choose other domain names. But in Africa, there are good examples. Rwanda. Have you been in Rwanda? You don't even know where it is, yeah? Small countries. By the way, Rwanda is really very beautiful country, very small and very clean. Not rich, but very clean. By the way, in Africa, there are many not rich countries, but some of them are clean, some of them not. So Rwanda is really, personally, like very beautiful country. And by the way, in Rwanda, you can see wild gorillas, like, you know, in a few meters from you. It's really amazing country. So what they did, they provide free domain for every business for first year. So if you are from Rwanda, you can get free domain for first year. It's amazing. So every African country should to do this. So I just show you like nice examples. By the way, we talk to them. We talk to the registry. They combined with the hosting. So you can, if you're a business, you can get small package of hosting, small email, and free domain name of Rwanda for first year for free. It's just incredible thing how you can like empower economics. Like I think all African countries should do the same to increase the economics. I think like Europe can copy from that. And for example, South Africa, of course, like good registry, good price, big quantity, nice API. And what I also show you alternatives. What people do if you do not follow the recommendations. So in US, nobody uses .us because it's, I don't know, sucks. I don't know how to say nice. Because they're late. In US, nobody uses .us. In UK, nobody uses .uk. Everybody uses Go UK. Because it also was too complicated. Central NIC was in time. They make Co UK. Now Co UK is standard. In US, .com is standard. Not US and not UK in UK. So, and by the way, I just show you examples how registries can benefit money from nothing. Let's say .by, Belarus. They also say for Bavaria. So from Bavaria, they also do .by. Or for example, .me. Nice registry. Montenegro, 500 people. 500,000 people in Montenegro. But they say .me, it's .me. Filip.me, I don't know. Matisias.me. And they said .me, it's also Middle East. They target Middle East. You go to Dubai, you see .me. So the country is 500,000 people. .me is one of the top domain name. Just do money from nothing. Turkmenistan. By the way, in Turkmenistan, it's also unique situation. They registered in UK. And if you would like to buy .tem, you can buy only from UK, not from Turkmenistan. Of course, it costs $1,000, but also nice example. They said, TM, it's not Turkmenistan, it's trademark. If you have trademark, pay a lot, $1,000 per domain, get from us. I just show you some good examples how people earn money from nothing. Or for example, AM, Armenia. Also, you know, AM like for the radio. I don't know, 101 AM. And also Sri Lanka, also good example. As I said, domain name is cheap for locals, few dollars. But if you are global, for $50, I don't say that it's excellent examples, but I just say that they somehow solve all problems. If you're in country, you have no money, pay a few dollars. If you're outside, you would like to be in Sri Lanka, pay a lot. And I just say that if Africa do nothing, everybody just use .com, .xyz, .something, .online, and just nobody will use African tildes. Okay, so in website creation. Technically, if somebody, let's say in Zambia, in Botswana, in Malawi, if somebody knows where is it, or in Lesotho, if somebody knows where the country is located, would like to have a website, it will be very slow. Just hosting in Lesotho not exist at all. But let's say, by the way, African market is very, very nice. If you go to Lesotho, let's say Lesotho, if you know where is the country, and talk to hosting provider, he said, "Oi, I'm not alone. I'm a reseller of Domains Kaza." I said, "I'm also, Domains Kaza is our customer." so I just said, market is also very, like, not so huge. But what I would like to say, that hosting is very slow, and people start buying outside. So in Africa, hosting is slow, expensive, and if I would like to order a website, it's very slow. So if I would like to order a website, so I'm real Botswanian small guy, I would like to have a website. I will pay more than Americans for the website. The website will be much slower, and I will pay for the hosting much more. So, you know, market search for a solution. So solution comes, people go to OVH, GoDaddy, Netherlands, US, Germany. So personally, from my opinion, what hosting companies I visited, 90% of them host outside Africa. Why? I talked to them. Why? I talked like to the biggest data centers in South Africa. I said, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Mozambique, Lesotho, Swaziland. Yeah, like all of them have no infrastructure. Infrastructure is in South Africa. I said to South African data center, said, why you do not collect them personally, visit every office, Go to Botswana, to every hosting company, to every design studio. Collect them, not to US, but to South Africa. Provide them, I don't know, lower price, the same free price, I don't know. These guys all paying to America. They two choice, Germany, Netherlands, or America. Nothing else. Say, why all of you paying money to America? Collect them here in Africa, in South Africa. I said, the cable, through Botswana in South Africa, the cable is perfect. Like, no, everybody pays to America because it's like slow, because price is very high. Oh, and of course, website development is very, very bad. So in website development, and of course, lots of people choose website builders because development is bad, like slow. Why I need to pay for the website, let's say $500, wait 3 or 6 months if I can choose a website builder and have a website tomorrow. By the way, for shared hosting, it's also nice because I'm ready for shared hosting. I would like to buy shared hosting now, but I don't have a website. I order a website from you, I need to wait 3, 6, 12 months. After 3, 6, 12 months, I forget about you. If I have a website builder, if you have a website builder, I just start using your hosting today. So it's like, so people choose for alternatives. Payment systems in Africa. Africa has lots of benefits. You have mobile payment systems. In Lesotho, you know the cowboy. If you come to Lesotho, I don't remember, but like 90% of people, they have like big coats, like coat. And the coat is very strong, like, because when it's hot, it's not like hot inside. And they sleep with the same coat. And these guys are just living like this, like 7 days in a week. One day per week, they come to the capital. They have a phone, you know, with numbers, like old Nokias, I don't know. And they come to the city to charge the phone. And also with this phone, they are able to make transactions, by the way. We are unable to do transactions with our phones without any apps. But they with regular phone, with the numbers, they can do transactions. That is, and Africa is #1 in the world in the transactions. But the problem is to collect these transactions, usually there are no good APIs. Of course, some countries are developed. Of course, like Tunisia is developed. Of course, South Africa is developed. But in Madagascar, for example, and you see like here, lots of like black spaces. So it's too complicated to collect money. So, for example, if you have data center, you would like to sell to Tanzania, you will not succeed because the Tanzania people just unable to pay you. Like, of course there are, because Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, they like the same language. Technically, they somehow solve something. And every hosting provider try to find his own way how to collect transactions because no normal API. And so continent from mobile payments of view is developed mostly in the world. But from the ability to collect these payments, not like one by one, but like massively, to sell hosting, is too complicated. For example, we would like to sell hosting in Madagascar or website builder. We're unable to do it because we're unable to collect money. Technically, we're unable to collect it. We can find an agent and said, if somebody sells you and like SMS, let's say, then you will collect our money, something like that. But it's like in a stone age, something like this. So people search for solutions. In Africa, it's very popular if you go, I don't know, to Angola, it will be new Jeep stopping like nearby the big company, and in the Jeep will be Gmail, Instagram, and Facebook. And no website. No website, it means nobody of you will get money. No website, it means no domain, no control system, no data center, no traffic in Africa, so all of you will not have money. I thinking, why this guy with new Jeep, with big office, has no website? And it's standard. In Africa, it's standard. It's not an exception. It's standard. When it's like new Toyota Jeeps, by the way, Toyota is really, because I do lots of off-roads, and when I go to Toyota Center, they ask them a question they're unable to answer. They said, you use Toyota more than our techniques. But so lots of Toyotas in Africa, they have Gmail, Instagram, Facebook, and no website. Of course, in South Africa is different, and Tunisia is different, of course. Like north part of Africa is different, but like not developed country, people do not use the website at all. And the answer is they're unable to pay. So this guy with a big Jeep just unable to pay for the website. It's too complicated. Gmail is free, Instagram is free, Facebook is free. Or website domain, I need to pay $3. Where? How? Fill paper applications? Pay with the cards that they don't have, with the payment systems that they don't accept, don't understand? How? How I manage the website? No studios, nothing. So, and people as a result do not, so they use alternatives, and Africa lose everything. So okay, about data centers. So it's big pleasure that quantity of data centers grows. Of course, it's much better. Of course, maybe map is maybe old or something, but it's 2022. The quantity of data centers grows, but if you go deeply, mostly data centers are built by telcos. Of course, I'm not an expert of data centers. I just would like to say you like two things. Why global companies do not host in Africa? We need a small VPS in Africa, but we do not buy here. Because, so I just say why locals do not host and why globals do not host. So people see the world. We have something in South Africa, South America. We have something in North America. We have something in China. We have something in Europe or but nothing in Africa. Because in Africa, if you host somewhere here, yeah, still signals is weak here, and signal between you and France is the same. So it's cheaper to host in France, not on the north, because it's the same latency, or price is much clear. Another problem, if I host in South Africa, where it's quite developed, here is bad signal, and here is bad signal. So there are no in Europe, if I host in Netherlands, I forget about everything. If I host in Germany, I have one location in Germany, I forget about all Europe. So technically, if I have servers in Germany, I forget about all Europe. I don't need other locations. But in Africa, no. In Africa, you have at least 2 locations. Anyway, if you have 2 locations, one here and one here, still you have trouble here. And I don't know how to solve it, but there are no local Amsterdam in Africa. So for example, Amsterdam in Europe, just to remind, if I buy server in Amsterdam, I don't need other locations in Europe. But there are no point in Africa where I put the servers and I do not need other locations. If I put servers here, still here it will be 200 milliseconds. I don't know how to solve it. I just share why me and other companies, and lots of companies do not buy something here. Other condition is there are no Amazon, no Google. Everybody dislikes these companies. Google is bad, Amazon is bad, Microsoft is bad. But if they comes, when a big sharks are swimming, small fishing are parasites. They are also swimming together. So they swim is like all the life. So and the idea just that if they come, they will attract lots of visitors. Yeah. So if Google comes, let's say, by the way, Google have many data centers in Africa, but not open for themselves, small ones somehow. For example, if I don't know, Google put something here, lots of small companies start coming, and also they will require lots of infrastructure because they have big requirements. So I would see on big providers like Amazon, not as competitors. Of course, they're competitors for you, but as developers, because they will come, and then they will also attract lots of customers. And develop infrastructure, everything else will coming. Like Netherlands has cables, but as colleague said, 95% of data centers in Netherlands are not from Netherlands. Something like here. And locals also, if I'm the real situation, you have data center in Kenya, and you are hosting in Kenya, you will never host with him. If you are in Kenya, you will host in US. Because it's cheaper, and you will not talk to each other. For me, this situation is stupid. I tried to solve. I said, use the data center, you hosting, let's talk together, let's provide some deals like blah, blah. I don't know why. But possibly the pricing model, of course, in Netherlands, the economics of scale. In Germany, economics of scale. In US, economics of scale. You have many users, so users cost a little. For you, no. Because you have data centers, not enough customers, you buy expensive traffic, so you're unable to provide small prices, and all people go outside. Okay. So internal, external companies host outside. So to solve it, I just say my opinions, not a data center expert, but just my opinion visiting like 100 companies here in Africa, like this. Just an example, like you see Google, China, also avoid them. Okay, so learning. Also, Africa is not well educated. So, so there are only countries that are less educated, there are countries that are not educated at all. I'm talking about like digital marketing, like regular question that 99% of hosting companies do not answer in Africa. And by the way, what is good, you know, in Europe also as well, what is like customer acquisition cost of your company, in your company? For example, how much cost to get the customer? It's called like unit economics, like here, cost of acquisition. If you ask somebody like from marketing in GoDaddy, in 1&1, in OVH, I don't know, they will like do it like momently. It's like daily thing. And what is like lifetime value of your customer? Because all your business is like to buy customer and to get money from him. And what US do better? US buy customer cheaper and get from the customer more money. And like these basic things like product mindset, growth hacking are not popular here at all. And also education of marketing is very, very low. So you need like lots of conferences, lots of things. Like, and the alternatives, people pay to US. So if there are no professional marketing here, so it's much cheaper to go to Wix. And you see these guys, like in Zambia, they have no money, and they come to Wix and pay $200 per year. $200 per year, guys from Zambia paying to Wix, just because no alternatives. Because if they would like to buy Zambian domain, complicated, hosting slow, Wix is totally slow and totally bad, and the interface is bad, but still it somehow works and local doesn't. So something like this. And so I will talk tomorrow about this, or more examples. So, like, as I said, you need to build a strong community here in Africa. So like this event could be like, I don't know, 50 times bigger. So guys from, I don't know, Rwanda, Malawi, I don't know, Nigeria should come to that event. Like should be something where people solve something together. So they just, I said, you can be friendly. I just saw several pictures from my travel, you see. I just would like to say that strong community, you know, you can be together, you know. Registries, data centers, learning systems like, I don't know, payment system, like developers, they can be all together. You can be friendly, you know. I tried. I don't know, this is like, you know, Zimbabwe, this is Namibia, you know, rhinos. Like these sharks, Maldives. You know, this is Mauritius, Namibia. So like, be friendly. So you know, African people are really friendly. 3 years ago, I go through Tanzania, like many countries, but I had about 30 car repairs in Africa. You know, you come with a jeep, and and you're in a village where no electricity, but there are no ever like houses are not ever wooden. There are no clay houses and wooden houses, and like, you know, so the houses are from clay, made of like. So it's like really you just push them, it collapse. And you need to solve problems. I had 30 car repairs in Africa, like in 1 year. So in really situations where there are no network and people are really friendly. Nice community, you know. People coming, they're unable to talk with you in English, they do not know English, but they can take your car from the river, you know, they help you. So Africa is friendly, guys. So in Africa there are lots of friendly people. So Africa could be friendly. So my thing is just, you need to focus on these 5 things. Of course, this conference will not change, like everything at the moment, but I just said, if we focus on these things, we can like create a huge market, and you have good trends for that. So Africa is growing, and there are no growths on other continents. So guys who run hosting companies, you know, hosting companies from Europe search for new markets. Hosting companies from US search for new markets because like it's blood market. So Africa is blue ocean. Okay, and tomorrow we'll also talk about growth hacking, hosting, and website builders will be something more interesting for you. So if you have questions, ask now, or I don't know when Zaid manage it. Yes?
1, 2, 3 test? Yes. So you mentioned that A, we need to work together, but B, the influence of the domain industry is, in my honest opinion, in the Netherlands, where I'm from, humongously important for the growth of the digital economy. And the digital economy is, let's say, being recognized by the government as substantial. So the Dutch Data Center Association is now a platform for the government, for the politicians, to actually ensure that the registry, SIDN, who gives out .nl, is being governed in a democratic way, in such a way that the economic interests of the country and all its inhabitants are being more or less guaranteed. So the infrastructure is managed by the, let's say, domain owner, SIDN, but also the value-added, let's say, solutions need to be monitored and maybe even regulated. So what's your opinion on that?
So what is nice in Europe about democracy, I have other opinion, like, but the idea in Europe, if Google would like to come in Europe, Google can open one entity, let's say in Ireland, and sell in all Europe. So Google can have one data center, one juridical entity, and easily sell in all Europe. In Africa, no. In Africa, he needs to have 10 locations, 25,000 of payment gateways, and I don't know how it technically works. If you would like to have a law, let's say in China, why Google is not in China? Everybody said Google is blocked in China. In China, they have rules. If you would like to sell in China, you should be a local company. So Google should open local company, like ESP license, CPS license, something like this. They also need to have a data center inside China. And then Google can run in China as everybody else. But just Google doesn't follow the rules. So like everybody else, not like exception, but like everybody else, Google is blocked in China. If you do the same rules for Africa, that's no problem. If you would like to work in Africa, have data in Africa. It could be Nigeria, it could be Tunisia, it could be South Africa, no problem. And you can collect money in all Africa, like in some easier ways, like 3-5 payment gateways, not 120. Something like this. But of course it should be like some community. Of course there are lots of African communities. There are some like countries are like 5 of them, 10 of them. There are lots of communities in Africa, but not of all of the continent. But if it will be so easy, like Google came to Ireland and cover all the Europe, it could be if it would be the same with Africa. For example, African countries can sell to each other very easy. Now, if they are from Tunisia, sell to Tanzania is insane. Like or for example, sell to Madagascar, it's really impossible. So if it could be regulated like this, my opinion, the continent will rise up very fast.
So my question to the audience here is, make sure that you get united. Don't underestimate the influence of a TLD and what the influence of a TLD can have on the further development of the digital economy in that specific country. So the .nl domain has more than 5 million domain names at the moment, and the majority of the e-business in the Netherlands is either .com, which is, I would say, 60% of the economy, but I need to put a disclaimer here, I don't know the numbers by exact, but I would say the second domain is the .nl domain. So the .nl domain is hugely important to anybody in the Dutch economy. You already said it, 400 out of the 1,000 people have a domain, and the majority will have multiple domains. So they will try to have a .com or another nice domain which has an extension which is forming a word or whatever. But I would say the average domain owner has at least 3 to 6 domains if they have a domain, they have multiple domains. So for those who are in the domain business here, here in Africa, it's a huge market.
I interview many hosting companies, by the way, also Zaid 4 years ago in Tunisia, and also one of the questions was how many domains usually user has. And just it's not like the rule, but is, as I understood, it's the trend. If market is developed, the quantity of domains per person is bigger. For example, one person has 2, 3, 5 domains, let's say. If market is not developed, usually it's like one website, one domain, that's all. It's like, I don't know, your evolution. And of course, if I'm in Amsterdam, 400 domains for 1,000 people, it doesn't mean like it's 400 people. And of course, there are lots of domainers and like blah, blah, blah. But it's like shows the trend. And of course, there are some countries like .tk, we also exclude them. And like you can, if you go to the website site pro.domainity, you will see like there are countries like this, as I said, .tk, .me, we exclude them just because they like in a little bit different. We should compare them a little bit differently, but it just shows the trend. So like that Amsterdam is much more developed and more money comes from Amsterdam. It means like Amsterdam generate, let's say 400 for TLD, like 400, let's say average TLD $10. It's like for 1,000 people they pay, let's say $4,000, and Zambia paid $20. It means like shows there somehow a level of economy. Like it means like money in the industry. Of course, some of the money comes to Amsterdam, some of them to US, some of them to Europe, but it somehow shows the trends in the industry.
I've got one more question for you. You mentioned very strong that the data centers are providing a slow connection, or where? Let me rephrase the question. Where does the slow response of the websites come from in the whole network layer? Is it the hoster providing, let's say, limited compute power? Is it the bandwidth availability? Is it the what's the problem?
Yeah, by the way, very nice questions. Very nice question. For example, if you come to Reunion, it's like somewhere nearby Madagascar, and they have 2 cables, one through Australia, one through South Africa. And if you come to like, I just take the islands, Mauritius, Comoros. Comoros is also nearby Madagascar, very undeveloped island, and also let's say Seychelles also, it's part of Africa. And the prices for internet is totally different. And the speed is also totally different. And so the answer is, of course, it's managing telecom. For example, in Comoros, it's monopoly. In Reunion, they have 3 or 4 telecoms. So of course, there is some competition. In Comoros, it's only one government telecom, and of course, everybody knows how government works. I haven't seen good examples. If it's Turkmenistan, if it's, I don't know, or any like country, if it's like one leading telecom, it's also monopoly, and the monopoly never works nice. And so the problem is, it's like how telecom manage it. Second things is cables are the same. In Seychelles and Maldives, cables are the same. By the way, in India, the same cables. But in India, sorry, in Sri Lanka, let's say, Sri Lanka and Maldives, the same cable. Let's say in Maldives, or let's say Seychelles, the price for internet will be about 100 times different. In Seychelles, you will pay for GB, 100 times more than in Sri Lanka. By the way, you will use the same cable. So in Africa, inside the continent, let's say in South Africa, very developed, let's say cheap internet. If you go a little bit higher to Botswana, because cable comes from South Africa to Botswana. In Botswana, internet will be slower, more expensive, blah, blah, blah. If you go a little bit higher, let's say Zimbabwe, Zambia, the internet will be slower and more expensive. It's the same situation like in, if you know the geographic, like in Russia. In Russia, very nice internet. If you go to Kazakhstan buy internet from Russia, so internet is a little bit more higher price and a little bit slower. And Uzbekistan, buy from Kazakhstan. So it's like 1, 2, 3. So in Uzbekistan, the internet is slower. And from Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan buy, so like level 4. So cable come 1, 2, 3, and every layer delays the price. Like delay, also delay, and the quantity of internet, I know. Internet becomes expensive and slow, and etc. By the way, they still now, like countries like Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, do you know how the internet, in the last week of months, usually there are no internet. Because they have like package, let's say they buy package, I don't know, like 10 exabytes. and let's say the traffic like spent, and when they left, like, I don't know, 5% of traffic, they decrease the speed because the limits are. And you can buy, I don't know, 10 gigs, but you're unable to use it just because telecom stop it, because there are limits. So, as I said, there are 3 problems. How telecom manage it. Second problem is like physically cables. If, let's say, Botswana buy from South Africa, and Zimbabwe buy from Botswana, and Zambia buy from Zimbabwe, like tick, 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 tick. I know, I don't know exactly how it works, but somehow like this. And it's worked like this. By the way, in that countries, like in Zimbabwe, sometimes I was shocked. I come to the petrol station, I just need 20 liters of diesel to cross the border. Said, we have no petrol. You know, there's still many countries in Africa still have no petrol on daily basis. They have no petrol. You said, I will pay twice. No, I will pay 5 times. No. Where are you going? I just need to cross the border. Okay, we will sell you 20 liters. How much I need to pay more for the diesel? He said, no. We just manage that we sell diesel to people who really require it. No, but the same price. You know. So like a little bit different understanding. But I just say that the problems are like this. Maybe there are more other problems, but as I talk to people, for me, it seems like this.
Thank you, Filip. Thank you for the rich insights.